I had just left the mosh pit of the BLM tools, where I had counter-protested them a bit. They seemed irritated by this, so their leader suddenly mobilized them to march down the street. Here all these nice Missoula people started repeating their handler's chant like parrots, threatening to destroy the peace of their pleasant and safe town over something that happened 1,000 miles away. I figured I'd head him off at the pass.
He was arrested! He was arrested! He was arrested! He was arrested! They arrested him! They arrested him! They arrested him! They arrested him!
The Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin had already been arrested and charged with murder. The two other cops were soon to be charged.
They arrested him! They arrested him!
They gave up their chanting. They seemed deflated. This guy knows it's all absurd. It's possible for one man to shut down a chanting crowd and make them listen to your chant instead. Deer in the headlights. You can do that? So I out-chanted them. They wanted to hear what I was saying, and they just gave up. I think their hearts weren't really in it anymore.
They already arrested him and it didn't happen here. They already arrested
Some
him.
poor stragglers separated from the magic empowerment of their mob were at the mercy of an old man's contrary thoughts.
They already arrested him. Montana cops are good.
An anti-communist counter-protester was standing there.
But it's a tough job, right?
That's good. I would want to do it, but it's fun.
We could go on and on, but yeah, I wouldn't want to be it. I don't have that personality.
I always protest when I don't agree with them. Good. They are inciting violence. Black Lives Matter incites violence. The whole country's afire because of it. George Soros created Black Lives Matter over the Garner affair, and Garner was a guy who attacked the cop and tried to take his gun.
You know what, sir?
Yeah.
I wouldn't think, just by what you're talking about, just by looking at you, I wouldn't think you would have those views. That's awesome.
Yeah.
We think alike.
Yeah. I'm an old hippie.
It's cool. Yeah. It's our instruments today.
Just 2 days after these BLM protests ended, a white clerk at a gas station on Higgins Avenue was assaulted by a non-white with a metal chair for no reason. The clerk took the fetal position to protect herself, but received serious injuries, including a gash on the head. This was done by one Tanisha Triplett. This kind of thing doesn't normally happen in Montana. The BLM protests on Broadway are direct causation. Direct causation. This racial propaganda stokes up anger and resentment in non-whites. They think this is justified. Thus the rising tide of violence against whites sweeping our nation today, day by day worse. Every person involved in these protests has this blood on their hands.